I thought that they would take the running back. I thought that with that offense geared in the way it is with Jeff Hostetler, that the one gear that they were missing, they have an exceptional passing attack. The one thing that they were missing was a guy who could get the 3, 4, 5 yards of crack every time they hand him the football. And I think they'll still be looking for that somewhere in the next round or so of this draft.
All right, Tommy, so the Raiders, a team making a major move and felt they were there. They felt if they played the Bills on their field, they would have won that game and moved on. The 49ers with their second first-round pick in a moment.
They test car batteries here. They test pickup trucks here. And when they test yard machines, they go here, Dave Spivey's house. MTD tractors, chipper shredders, lawn mowers, and edgers tackle the toughest jobs. Look for MTD yard machines at retailers near you. MTD.
Wow! I like it!
MTD yard machines, American made, American owned.
One word for the new Whopper Jr. at Burger King is bigger. 50% bigger. One more thing, it's now just 99 cents every day. The new 99-cent Whopper Jr. at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way.
I never fought a ticket before, but it was the principle of the thing.
Good morning, Your Honor. I brought two. You're not a lawyer. Remember, you are not a lawyer.
Tim Price, Officer Ken Duncan.
Just making an illegal right-hand turn going east on 5th.
Introducing wrinkle-free 100% cotton Dockers.
Entirely true.
Because there are times when just getting dressed isn't enough.
I got it, Mr. Price. Let me see these. Case dismissed.
Dismissed?
You may go, Mr. Price.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX4. Another engineering splash from Michelin. Because they're helping to build dreams. Because of their spirit of teamwork. The men and women of Home Depot share in the spirit of the Olympics. And to help build better homes, we're proud to have Charbroil as a member of our Home Depot Olympic family. Since 1948, Charbroil has set the standard for American-made outdoor cooking products. They give you their best, just like the U.S. Olympic team, and just like the people at Home Depot.
Back here in the Marriott Marquis, the first round continues with the 49ers' second pick. The 49ers have had a very active day, as you can always assume that the Niners will. First of all, they gave themselves room under the cap, trading a player that they like, linebacker Bill Romanowski to the Eagles. They get a 3rd-round pick and a 6th-round pick for that. Then, armed with all that, they moved up and traded within the division. They moved up to get the Rams pick, which was 7th overall, in which they selected Bryant Young, the fine defensive lineman out of Notre Dame, the defensive tackle. To do that, they moved down in the first round. Rather, the Rams got the Niners' first-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, and a 3rd-round pick. And they've just made a trade, and at least bear me out on this, guys. We just, during the break, were talking about who the Niners would want, and I thought they'd get out of here. And
yeah, you're right.
And they're out of here. They've just made a trade with Dallas. So the Cowboys, we assume, and we'll get the details in a moment, looks like the Niners will slide down from 23 to 28, move down in the draft. Dallas will pick. Let's go out to Santa Clara at the Niners headquarters with Fred Edelstein. The Niners have been busy. What do you see there? That's the Cowboys' war room. Freddie, what do you see the Niners thinking moving down 5? The same sort of player, obviously still there for.
Well, Chris, what happened here is that the 49ers really wanted Dwayne Washington, the cornerback, who they may have taken with the 15th pick if they would have left there and not made the Bryant Young trade. They tried real hard with the Minnesota Vikings to pull off a trade. They offered this 23rd pick, plus maybe Amp Lee, plus a 7th-round pick. Evidently, the Vikings thought about it long and hard, then took Dwayne Washington. There was also some feeling in the 49ers to take Todd Stussy, the offensive tackle from California. When the Vikings took him with that second choice that they had, they decided to trade down. They made this deal with Dallas, and back to New York.
All right, Freddie, we'll get back to you in a minute. Let's get the details of this trade between the Niners and Cowboys. Boy, the two teams have met the last couple of years in the NFC title game dealing, and here's the commissioner with details on the trade.
San Francisco has traded with the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are now on the clock. San Francisco gave their first round pick, the 23rd, which was the current pick, and their 7th round pick in this draft, the 217th choice. In return, they get from Dallas's first round pick, the 28th in this draft, and Dallas's 2nd round pick, the 62nd in this draft.
So they swap ones, and they pick up a 2 for a 7, and the players, and you heard Freddie talk about, were not there, although they got the defensive linemen. So the 49ers adroitly working the system, as did the Rams in their division. Fred, let's go back to you, and I want to bring in the Steve Bono situation. The 49ers, of course, would like to have Bono remain as their backup quarterback, but certainly not at the $1.5 million that he was gaining. Bono, they've also talked to the Chiefs about maybe sending Bono there to back up Joe Montana. Bono and Montana are such very good friends. Where does that stand right now?
I think that may be alive again. You know, it was interesting. Right before the draft, as the 49ers were completing that deal with Bill Romanowski to the Eagles, right before they finalized that trade, they got a call from the league office that said, hey, you guys can't draft unless you do something because you're $1.2 million over what you need to draft. They made the Romanowski deal. And the 49ers felt that Steve Bono and his agent, Ralph Sindrich, might have been playing a little game with them because in the middle of the week, it appeared that Bono had agreed to a new one-year deal at about half of that. And they felt that they might have been squeezed a little bit here. Now that they've got the money for the cap, they feel that maybe they can move Bono and maybe trade him to the Chiefs. Now back to New York.
All right, Freddie, a situation we'll get back to with the Niners up in 5 picks, but Dallas, the card has gone up. And here's the pick of the Cowboys.
With the 23rd pick in the first round, Dallas has selected Shante Carver, defensive end from Arizona State.
Giants are now on the clock. They make some sort of move. There's the Cowboy War Room. You're looking at now, Jerry Jones and company. They very happy, shaking hands with Barry Switzer, the new coach of the Cowboys. I still got to get used to saying that, the new coach of the Cowboys, Barry Switzer. But so here's Shante Carver, and obviously with Haley and his back situation a question. Remember, they've lost Jimmy Jones in the offseason here to the Los Angeles Rams. Casillas has become a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. A defensive line, more a position of concern to the Cowboys. Let's go up to Foxborough and join Tom Jackson. Shante Carver, kind of a unique physique, Tommy, but maybe in the Dallas situation when they use 6 and 7 and 8 defensive linemen, perhaps him being skinnier than others and the question of durability, not as much of a factor. Do you agree?
Well, I certainly think that was a problem for Shante Carver. A really good upper body strength, but when you see some of the still shots that the coaches have of a guy where you get a chance to see him in his shorts, he does have rather thin legs down low. That won't be as much of a problem for him. I think this was an area where they were concerned with Charles Haley on the outside being healthy. And certainly you get a good quality kid who's going to be a great pass rusher for him, Chris.
All right, Tommy, thank you. Let's go back quickly to New York because here the Giants are on the clock and the card is up. It's got to be a wide receiver. It's got to be a wide receiver.
Thomas Randolph. Wide receiver. What about Thomas Randolph?
With the 24th pick in the first round, the Giants have selected Thomas Lewis, wide receiver from Indiana.
Whoa! We got the position, but we're way off on the guy.
Kansas City is
Thomas Lewis, wide receiver. Give us the goods, Mel.
He's moved up a lot, Chris. He's one of those guys that we had mentioned, we talked about yesterday a lot, is a guy along with Kevin Lee from Alabama, Andre Coleman from Kansas State. He's one of those guys that in the last month had taken a dramatic rise. We see him there at number 9 overall, a guy that had run a 4.58 at the combine workout. Then about a month ago, he ended up running a 4.45, 4.43 in that area, and that kind of moved him up. He had a very productive senior year at Indiana, was also a good return man, tore up Penn State this past year at Happy Valley. So I know it baffles a lot of people because he was projected as a 4th rounder back maybe in mid-March, late March. But he has elevated himself in the last few weeks to the point where a lot of people thought he would go early to mid-second. Maybe not this high, but early to mid-second was where he was projected.
You know, you look back at the teams that have won the Super Bowl, there's a discussion that except really for the Giants and then the Bears, you know, way back in '85, you're talking about, you know, Irvin and Harper with Dallas, the Niners with Rice and Taylor, the Skins had their posse of receivers. But the Giants were the teams in '86 and '90 that never really had the bona fide. I mean, they had nice guys. Manuel had some big years for him, but never really bona fide big-time receivers. They're still searching, Joe.
Yeah, they are searching, and look at what happened to them last year. I think it's evidence the fact that they just didn't have the ability to be able to go out and try and get the football to somebody. They couldn't throw the football. That's what hurt them. There you look at the wide receivers they have. They definitely need help.
Well, you look at the wide receivers here, and Mark Jackson, of course, had some big catches for him, but toward the end had some problems. Sherrard got hurt. And, of course, we had a lot of fun with Cab Calloway there, hiding high. But Lewis fits in, and obviously he's someone that Phil Simms thought was very interesting when the card was announced just a couple moments ago. We keep on trucking here in New York in a moment.
Nature's song echoes through this land, where today looks like yesterday and feels like forever.
I feel the music in my heart when Montana sings.
Hello, I'm Lou Grubb. Satisfied customers like Josephine Portapillo mean everything to us at Lou Grubb Ford. Listen to what Josephine has to say.
What's surprising to me was when I walked out of that showroom, I had a smile and I felt happy. So, yes, I really enjoyed it.
You'll enjoy doing business at Lou Grubb Ford in North Scottsdale.
These guys got to start brushing their teeth.
I got Dodger Blue coursing through my veins. Yes, sirree. I eat Dodger Blue for lunch, dinner, and breakfast. Ouch! You got some Dodger Blue in my eyes. But that's okay, because I can't get enough Dodger Blue.
Tonight, it's the Expos versus the Dodgers.
How about a little more on my pants, tough guy?
We are back in New York as we take the panoramic view of the ballroom of the Marriott Marquis. The Giants have just selected Thomas Lewis, wide receiver, and the Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock. But first, let's go backwards to the Cowboys who moved up for Shante Carver. Let's check in with Craig James. Your thoughts on Dallas's move?
Chris, really not surprised. Shante Carver fits the scheme and the philosophy that Jimmy Johnson had. Butch Davis, the defensive coordinator, is sticking with it. That is players that can run and get upfield. The Cowboys want defensive ends to get up the field to get to the quarterback. He's only 240 pounds, but remember, Leon Lett gained a lot of weight after he'd been with the Cowboys for a while, so they don't have any problem with that. More importantly, though, the Cowboys players, the defensive line and their entire defensive unit has kind of got used to having that rotation system on their defensive line. The players enjoy the rotation system every bit as much as the Cowboys coaching staff, and I think that's really important that they maintain that kind of continuity mentally for the players in that huddle, Chris.
All right, Craig, thank you. Chris Myers is down in Dallas with the owner, Jerry Jones, who made a move on draft day, Chris. So I know now Jerry feels at home. Let's go down to Big D.
All right, Jerry stepping in, making another move. Finally, you trade up, you get Shante Carver. Let's first go back, if we could, for a moment in the disappointment. You said you wanted to trade up, possibly involving Alvin Harper, to get Willie McGinst of USC. What happened?
Well, I think that's fair. We had made our minds up 2 days ago that we weren't going to give up Alvin Harper for 1 year unless we got Willie McGinnis. And we didn't want to take any chances. If it happened for us, then we'd give up Alvin Harper. As it turns out, our fans now have 2 draft picks there today. We've still got Alvin Harper, plus we've got us a real fine pass rusher, and that was our goal.
There was a report earlier that you could have had, the Rams came to terms, you could have had that 5th selection or even a 7th selection with the Rams still trading Harper, but at that point you didn't want to do it because McGinnis was gone?
That's correct. We